Dude, I don't mean to pry, but your parents were 100% trying to kill you.
They're trying to give him a heart attack. Oh, how to get rid of your kid 101. Well, if he has heart problems, take him to a haunted place.
Our investigation.
Oh my god, this is gonna be a good one. This is gonna be a good one. Welcome back. Welcome back. Carlos here. Still trying to figure out if my Wi-Fi router is possessed by a mischievous spirit or if it just genuinely hates me. I think it's the latter. For those of you who stumbled on this channel, I'm a stand-up comedian. I usually talk about things that are actually real, like traffic or the price of morning coffee. But today, we're venturing into a world that's, let's just say, less grounded in reality than my diet on a Friday night. On this channel, we react to all things funny, interesting, and occasionally downright baffling on the internet. And nothing baffles me more than the booming industry of professional ghost hunters on YouTube. Seriously, what is it with YouTubers and ghosts? They all start out doing makeup tutorials and suddenly they're in an abandoned asylum at 3 a.m. Yeah, I'm talking to you, ghost hunter, freaking Matt Rife. You're a comedian. What are you doing ghost hunting? Anyway, asking if Sarah wants to play with a spirit box that sounds like a broken alarm clock. It's either incredibly brave or they're just run out of content ideas that don't involve a Ouija board and dramatic jump scares. Which brings us to today's adventure. We are reacting to a video from the truly hilarious Danny Gonzalez. If you don't know Danny, go hit that subscribe button right now. He's a master of comedic commentary, and today he's taking on a supernatural. I tried ghost hunting to see if it's fake. Danny Gonzalez, ladies and gentlemen, trying to see if ghost hunting is fake. It's like scientific experiment, but instead of Bunsen burners, there's like just a guy with a flashlight asking if anyone's there. Usually to crickets, or maybe the sound of his own existential dread. I mean, come on. If ghosts were real, don't you think they'd have better things to do than knock over a single candlestick in a dusty old house for a YouTube video? That's truly terrifying. So, is Danny going to find definitive proof of the afterlife? Or is he just going to confirm what we all suspect? That the only thing spooky about these ghost hunting YouTube videos is the low production value and the sheer commitment to staring at nothing for an hour. My money's on the latter. But hey, I'm just a comedian. What do I know about a paranormal besides, you know, my last relationship? Oh man, I love you, X. No, I don't. Anyway, hit that like button, subscribe if you dare to delve into the depths of the internet absurdity with me. And let's see if Danny Gonzalez can finally answer the age-old question. Are ghosts real? Or are YouTubers just really good at pretending they are? Let's go, let's do this.
Standing in front of what's widely considered to be the most haunted hotel in the US, the Stanley Hotel. Every ghost hunting program that comes here somehow has this insane, traumatic, life-altering experience after staying here for just one night. And I'm trying to do the same thing. I'm gonna try to spend a night here hunting ghosts because I have one simple question. Is every ghost show and paranormal YouTuber over-exaggerating? Or is it just Shane Dawson? Because I know that Shane Dawson is. These shows are quite literally designed to scare you. They go in with a preconceived notion that like, well, we've got to make an entertaining show and we're only here for one night, so we got to come up with something scary. So they add in scary music over every scene, scary sound effects, they dress all cool, and I'm pretty sure they just make stuff up too. And after filming this video and talking to the hotel staff, I have a lot of evidence. I just feel like as a viewer, we never get to actually see what the experience is like staying at one of these haunted locations. What's it like when a regular person that's not trying to make a scary video stays here? Are you actually guaranteed a spooky night of being tossed around the room by some guy that died 100 years ago? Or is it all fake?
My son and I went to the Queen Mary. We went to the Whaley House. We went to an abandoned gold mine in San Diego called Eagle Mine. We went to the Del Campo Santo Cemetery in San Diego. We also went to the haunted ghost ship in San Diego known as the, whatever the name is. We went to that ship and we've been to places and we have seen nothing. No shadows, no sounds, no nothing. We didn't take any equipment. But still, if there was something to see, you would see it even without equipment, right? But anyway, that's why this video is so appealing to me. So let's watch.
Got scared. They felt a presence and they're trying to leave. The vibe's off. We gotta get out of here. The Stanley.
The Stanley Hotel is probably most known for being so scary that apparently just one stay here inspired Stephen King to write The Shining. And I'll tell you the story of how that happened later, but ever since The Shining came out, this hotel has been the subject of countless ghost stories and paranormal investigations, most of which exclusively depict this place as this decrepit, creepy old hotel that only exists at night. But this place is actually like a beautiful hotel. It felt less like a portal to hell and more like a tourist attraction. When I got there were people milling around, taking pictures. The hotel was like blaring music. If I was was a ghost, I would have been pissed. I can't haunt this place, it's too nice out, nobody's even gonna be scared of me. There are a ton of different ghosts that haunt this hotel. Like, I think every article I read and every person I talked to
Some of those were not real ghosts, they're just actors.
at this hotel somehow knew about a different ghost that I hadn't heard of yet. It's like anyone who's ever so much as even looked at this building gets sent here when they die. I'm worried I'm gonna haunt this place when I die. There's the ghost of a housekeeper that was in an explosion at the hotel and still sticks around to fulfill her maidly duties, a cowboy ghost that supposedly kisses women in their sleep, and a lot more ghosts, many of which are tied to specific rooms.
Hey, I'm sure girls really like that cowboy that kisses them.
Like,
And the housekeepers that are alive, I'm sure they're happy there's a ghost cleaning up for them.
my room, the haberdasher suite, because my room is
Haberdasher.
haunted by a haberdasher. If you don't know what a haberdasher is, it is someone who haberdashes, which apparently is old-timey speak for sells clothes to men. It's just a men's clothes dealer.
Okay, I'm about to enter the room for the first time. Supposedly one of the many haunted rooms in this hotel.
I've heard that when stepping into a haunted space for the first time, you can immediately notice a different energy.
Wow.
But I walked all around this room, looked in every nook and cranny, and I gotta say, I did not really feel anything.
It's a good sign. There is a fly flying around. I don't know if you can see that. I keep seeing it smack into the window. He's trying to get out of here. He's scared.
On a scale from 1 to 10, I'd say my spook level was hovering about a 1.1 on the spook meter. On the spookometer.
No Bible. You know what? I feel like hotels like this often, because they're haunted, can get a pass if anything about their room is like shitty. Because they can either be like, well, the ghost did that. Sorry, your bed's fucked up. The ghost did that. Or just like people who are coming for like a haunted experience aren't looking for like the nice amenities of a hotel. They're not focused on the backsplash of the bathroom sink. They're focused on like, am I gonna start floating in the middle of the night? So, you know, I feel like we should be fair and actually do a review of this hotel room from a non-paranormal perspective.
When you stay in the haberdasher suite, you'll feel like you were transported back to the early 1900s. And not just because there's a man trying to sell you a bowler hat in the corner. I'm talking solid wooden doors, no central AC, which according to an email was to preserve the historic
Bro, that is so true. When my son and I stayed at the Queen Mary, we got a room at the Queen Mary, stayed overnight, because I mean, you have to stay overnight, right? It's a haunted place. So we stayed overnight. Dude, I paid for like the best hotel room. I paid for like a deluxe suite, whatever, king size bed, whatever, everything, you know? When I get to the room, the door to enter the room is like is so old and like swollen and falling that it's like it gets stuck when you're trying to open and close it. It's like scraping on the side, like you feel like you're gonna break the wood. You feel like the door's gonna fall into pieces, right? And you open it, you walk in, yeah, the whole room is like wood, and it's like dirty old wood. The windows, the wall, everything looks like it's been there 100 years and nobody has cleaned it or maintained it since. There's like a vent on the wall from like a 1940s, like whatever they call the air conditioner back then. There's a dirty old fan from like the 1930s that hasn't had any maintenance or cleaning, you know. And you go into the restroom and the toilet has pipes all around it, and it's all like rusted pipes and like the floor's dirty. Like, come on, bro, you could like, I mean, but yeah, they say it's to preserve the room.
feel of the room. A giant AC unit by the window, which does the exact opposite. I also like the fun
Mine didn't have an AC. They said if you get hot at night, you come down to the desk and ask for a fan. We'll let you borrow a fan.
historic pics of the hotel.
Oh, that's the hotel in the background. That's tight. I thought this lady was holding a gun at first. That's why the hotel's haunted. This is moments before the first ghosts entered the hotel. This couple's just laughing, having a good time. This lady's like, yo, get a picture of this.
In keeping with the theme of not keeping with a theme, the bathroom also felt very out of place.
This is actually a very nice shower. Some nice artwork over here. This is beautiful.
The bathroom had this like newly renovated farmhouse aesthetic, like something straight out of an episode of Fixer Upper. 0 out of 10, not historic, and too nice to be haunted. Seriously, when it started to get dark out, the only place I felt like I wouldn't get haunted was in the bathroom. I'd be peeing and the haberdasher would just be standing outside the door like, come out here. I can't haunt you in there, it's too nice. Come out here where it's old and creepy. Please. I want to sell you a hat.
Okay, this curtain has a stain on it.
Something was up with the bed too. Do my feet look higher than the rest of my body? All right, I'm settled into my hotel room. I'm chilling. I went to the hotel restaurant and ate some dinner. The view was beautiful and the food was just okay. And my spookometer is still going strong at a 1. Now you're probably wondering,
Dude, the food is just okay. Dude, I'm like at a deluxe hotel at the Queen Mary, right? Paying for all, whatever. You don't want to know how much I paid. But we go to breakfast in the morning. Yeah. No, I'm sorry, Queen Mary. I'm not going to say how bad it was, but you have to do better, like way better. My son couldn't eat his hotcakes or pancakes. What do you guys call them? Hotcakes, pancakes, whatever, because they were stiff. My son couldn't bite the pancakes. He grabbed them. Literally, they stood like that. If you grab a pancake, it's supposed to like fold because it's fluffy and soft. He grabbed a pancake like that. It looked like a tostada, or like a rice cake, you know, just like he grabbed the hot cake and he bit into it. And he's like, Dad, this is too hard. So he went, he grabbed another one, grabbed another. It was a breakfast buffet or whatever. All the hotcakes were like that hard. The egg had no flavor. The bacon was okay, that's it.
What I mean when I say that all of the shows that film here are over-exaggerated. Unless you've watched one of these shows before, in which case you're not, you already 100% know what I'm talking about. Well, let's take a look at Ghost Adventures, which is hosted by what I like to call the Chris Angel of paranormal investigation, Zach Baggins.
This is a genuine, authentic haunt. The second I got my key and I shut the door, I pretty much said,
Dude, just looking at that guy, I'm like, this is fake. Just by the way that guy was standing at the beginning of the video, I'm like, this is fake. I don't even want to watch this video because I know this is going to be made up shit.
all right, listen, I'm gonna have to get naked a couple times to take a shower. Sometimes in the middle of the night, I get up to get water, and I can't guarantee that I'm wearing everything.
Oh no. Oh shoot. Is that something I should have done when I got here? Attention, all ghosts in this room. You are gonna see my dick.
From early childhood, I used to hang out around here. I've had 2 heart transplants. So every anniversary of one of my heart transplants, my parents would give me a weekend up here. I've had a lot of near-death experiences.
Wait, their gift to their son with severe heart problems was a trip to the scariest place in the country? Dude, I don't mean to pry, but your parents were 100% trying to kill you.
They're trying to give him a heart attack. Oh, how to get rid of your kid 101. Well, if he has heart problems, take him to a haunted place.
Our investigation will take us into 3 of the buildings that comprise the Stanley complex.
The sound effects in this show are insane. They're designed to make you scared before anything scary even happens. I feel like I'm being shot in the chest every time they switch shots in this sequence.
The main hotel,
Whoa.
the manor house, and the
I'm hit.
carriage house.
Oh, fuck.
At 3 a.m., I was woken up by an unexplained noise, and shortly after that, my digital recorder captured an EVP. Shut the door.
Was that him
Stuff like
or
this
the
is pretty
ghost?
hard to dispute because it's impossible to tell if this is staged or not, or if this is just like static that happens to somewhat resemble a human voice. Without the text on screen, it kind of doesn't even sound like a voice. Like, let me play a different one, for example, and you try to tell me what you think it says. And here's what it says. Did you get it? No?
No.
I knew you didn't have what it takes to join the Ghost Adventures. Get out of my hotel room. And then we get to Shane Dawson.
I think they tried to decorate for Christmas, but it is scary. Why are all these chairs so scary?
Watching Shane Dawson investigate the paranormal is like watching a wounded deer try to investigate a
Dude, it's like when they say, if you're a hammer, every problem looks like a nail. Like, that's how that guy sounds. How the hell is a freaking chair scary? They're just chairs. That's stupid.
theme park. It doesn't matter what happens, he's going to be terrified.
Oh my god.
Wait, are they fucking with us?
Try this. Just unlocking the door to his room is almost enough to send Shane packing. This is creepy as fuck. It is a very normal hotel room.
Okay, can I just say something? And you're gonna think I'm being dramatic.
What's so scary about this besides the lady's weight? And those thick ass glasses. Damn, lady, what's up with that butch ass haircut? Oh man, look at the fuck. They got this stuffed animal of a shark in here. It's like, what, you gotta tell the shark to eat the damn ghost? Like, arr, arr. What the hell is this, man? This is a normal ass. This is a nice room, dude. Compared to what I had at the Queen Mary, this is fucking luxury, dude. It looks like my grandma's house. Like, seriously, it looks really nice. Nice desk to work on. Look at these nice couches. The bed has nice frame. Dude, this is an awesome room. If this guy says that it's scary or creepy, I'll punch him in his fucking face.
My camera has been fine focusing this whole day. The second we got into this hotel, it stops fucking focusing.
Just whatever. Can't believe you're scared of a normal ass room.
Every second.
I don't know if you guys know this, but cameras have a harder time focusing in dimly lit environments. That's like a well-known thing about cameras. It's pretty funny to try to pin that on a ghost.
Yeah, that's why everybody that records YouTube videos and does content and vlogs, you carry a bunch of freaking lights with you. Like, look at this. Like these type of things. You put it on top of your phone or your camera, and that's what you do. But anyway. Yeah, if you don't use those lights, it focuses in and out. It gets darker and lighter. Like, just the difference in lighting when you walk from one room to another or one part of a room to another, it changes the way the video is going to look.
It's not focusing on anything.
Yeah, you guys
'Cause
turned
there's-
off all the lights. What is there to focus on? He's like panning around really fast and like getting really close to things in the dark. Like, I'm sorry, dude, the darkness is usually way crisper on this camera. But I think my favorite part about this is when Shane pauses the video and
Oh my god, it will not focus on my face. My face looks blurry. Why is everything blurry? Look at my face. You can't even make any details in my face.
edits in text to point out something that he didn't notice while filming. I've shown this to so many people. Did you guys see anything? What did he think?
A
was
sad
there?
face?
I'm so confused. He didn't have to edit that in. It might be nothing? Yeah, no, it definitely was nothing. Throughout this video, Shane adds in sound effects that are designed to make his terrified reactions seem a little more justified.
Oh my god!
He'll hear like a tiny bump noise that came from outside and then add in like the loudest horror sound effect you've ever heard. Here's the actual sound effect, and then here's how scared that made me.
Okay, guys, I have a confession to make. I know I talked a really big game about all the ghosts that have been spotted in this hotel, and as I was doing some research in my room, I started to realize that a lot of these stories might also be over-exaggerated a little bit. I know, apparently it's not just the ghost hunter shows that are doing it. Perhaps the hotel also has something to gain by playing up how haunted they are.
1911, maids up here are lighting acetylene gas lamps. There's a gas leak. This room blows up. The maid's name was Mrs. Wilson. It's believed that Mrs. Wilson is still with us in the hotel here. We've had guests walk into the bathroom, the light will turn on. Their clothes are put away in the dresser drawers and their bags are stacked in the closet.
I have a couple questions about this story.
Don't regular maids walk in when you're not there and clean up for you? What makes you so sure it was a ghost maid?
Because the way he tells it in this show makes it sound like the housekeeper is haunting the hotel because she died in this explosion at the hotel. She didn't. She didn't die. I looked it up. There's articles about this story. This happened in 1911. A housekeeper accidentally blew up like half the hotel. She sustained injuries. She broke both of her ankles. And then she died. In 1950. She lived for 40 years after this explosion. Honestly, even if she is haunting the hotel, like if she died here in 1950, that's her own business. The hotel doesn't need to go around spreading this story about her fucking up and blowing up the hotel. That seems a little bit petty, doesn't it? The interesting thing—
Imagine you fuck up at work and for like 100 years they tell everybody about it. We had this dumbass that used to work here. She fucked up, burned the whole room, burned half the hotel. I'm sorry. It's stupid. It's one thing that I've thought about when I watch all these haunted stories and haunted videos. Is like, oh, a prison. I think I saw one about a prison, and they're like, this prison is being haunted by the warden. Everybody says they see the warden in his freaking office. Da 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 da. But the warden didn't die in the prison. The warden retired, and then he died like 10 years later in his home from like being old. And now they say that he haunts his office. Like, no, dog. If I was a ghost, I would not be walking my ass all the way from my house to where I used to work and haunt my office. Like, what the fuck? Listen to all these stories, dude. If the ghost didn't die in that exact spot where they say he's haunting it, then it's not true. Come on, man. Come on. Do we all agree on that at least? Ain't no ghost. There's no ghost that's going to travel from his house all the way to where he used to work just to haunt people. You know what I'm saying? Like, no. Sorry.
The thing about the housekeeper ghost is that it's said that most of what she does to haunt the hotel is folding people's clothes and making their beds while they're not in the room.
Which if I was a worker and I died when I came back as a ghost, I would not be doing my job. I'd be chilling on the couch, like watching people and like, I don't know, going in the restroom and turning their hot water cold or something. I wouldn't be cleaning the fucking room, bro. Like, what?
Difficult to prove a ghost did that because that's what happens at every hotel when you leave the room.
Exactly.
Because that's what housekeepers do. But what would you rather her ghost powers be? Blowing up your room? Fucking up and just exploding the hotel? That wouldn't be a very fun ghost, would it? Yeah, this room is actually haunted by a creeper from Minecraft. If you hear hissing behind you, run. I'll be honest, at this point, I'm kind of worried I'm not even gonna get kissed by this cowboy ghost.
And it's not just that, I also looked into the story about The Shining, and do you want to know what happened? What inspired this hotel's biggest claim to fame? On a cold winter night in the 1970s, Stephen King stayed in room 217 at the Stanley Hotel. It was the end of the tour season at the hotel, so it was very empty, and while Stephen was sleeping, he had a nightmare that his son was being chased by a hose, and it was so scary that he wrote a whole ass book about it. That's right. As far as anyone knows, and as far as Stephen King has ever said, Stephen King saw 0 ghosts at the Stanley Hotel. 0 ghosts. You can book the room Stephen King stayed in, and it is booked for every Halloween for 7 years, because the hotel's booking system only goes 7 years into the future. And he never saw a ghost. Okay, but to be fair, just because Stephen King didn't see a ghost at the Stanley Hotel doesn't mean that there's nothing weird going on here.
Not only did he not see a ghost, he didn't hear anything, he didn't feel anything, nothing. He had a nightmare when he was asleep. That could have happened in his house, in his car while he falls asleep at the red light because he's old. Like, bro, nightmare could happen anywhere that you sleep. You know what I'm saying? It has nothing to do with the hotel.
As I would find out when we got to talking to 2 tour guides at the hotel.
This is the 3rd, possibly the 4th haunted building I've worked at. This is definitely the most haunted place I've worked in town.
I think that
Okay, I think you have an addiction problem, lady. Who goes as a criteria for where am I going to work next? Oh yeah, another haunted ass place. Like,
there are far too many, far too close enough to sane people at the Stanley. who have a ghost
Close
story.
enough
When I
to
started
see.
working here, I was thought, you know, maybe I'll see a ghost, hear some weird noise, you know, maybe once, twice a year. Some nights it's an every night thing.
And we also got to go on a tour of all the most haunted spots in the hotel after hours, where we found out a lot of juicy details about this hotel. For one, there are a ton of pictures of ghosts that people have taken at the Stanley Hotel. And on this tour, they showed us a lot of them. And while some of them just look like it could have been like a camera glitch or like a blurry low light photo where you can't really tell what's going on, when it's 1 a.m. and you're in the underground cave tunnels underneath a haunted hotel with 2 strangers you've never met, and one of them shows you a picture of a ghost girl hiding behind the carriage that you're standing right next to. Scary. The scariest ghost they told us about was a ghost named Dennis. They don't actually know the ghost's name, but they call him that because he's a menace. And I wish I had a video of some of the pictures they showed us, but Dennis looks creepy as hell. In every picture, he's just a shadowy figure with glowing eyes. In one of the pictures, he was posing in the background like this. And they told us a story about how one of the staff members saw Dennis in like the staff quarters, and Dennis started chasing him, and all the doors were locked, so he had to run upstairs and jump out a window to get away from Dennis. Do you have any idea how badly I didn't want to wake up in my hotel room that night and see Dennis staring at me? I was at a solid 5 or 6 on my little spook meter. But that all went down to a negative 5 or 6 when they started telling us a story about when Zach Baggins was there filming for Ghost Adventures. A big part of the Ghost Adventures episode at the Stanley was the carriage house, because that's where the hotel stores all of the mattresses that people have died on.
There's objects in here where some actual death happened, where the bodies were discovered on these beds.
So they spent like a ton of time in the episode trying to contact the spirits of people who have died on these mattresses.
Dude, that's the thing about these ghost videos, man. It's all the sound effects that they put in and the creepy fucking music. Like that. You know what I mean? It'll freak out anybody, but I mean, they do it or else you're not going to watch their damn videos, but.
Can you guess what the tour guides told us? Yeah, none of that's true. Yeah, the hotel doesn't store mattresses that people died on like they're saving them for something. Save it. What would they be saving them for?
That's so funny. We're an operating hotel, and believe it or not, we switch out mattresses every once in a while.
Yeah.
So Zach Baggins and his crew apparently just showed up and like looked through the window of the carriage house, saw mattresses, and were like, hey, let's go make some stuff up in there. The most interesting thing I took from the tour is that even though the tour guides know all of the spookiest things that have happened in the hotel, some of them don't 100% believe in ghosts. We were walking with one of the tour guides after he had showed us, I don't know, some of the most insane pictures of ghosts I've ever seen. And Jake asked him like, so when did you start believing in ghosts? And he was like, oh, I don't know if I believe in that stuff. Huh? So wait. What was all that about Dennis then? You get to just tell me about Dennis and make me scared and then not believe in him yourself? How is that fair? Don't get me wrong though, a lot of the staff actually do believe in ghosts, so much so that some even claim to have personal relationships with the ghosts they interact with most often.
Last summer,
Dude, quick example at the Queen Mary, the lady that handed me my room key, I was like, what's my room number? Because it's like a M010. It looked weird. And I was like, what's my room number? And then she's like, oh, we do not like to tell you or mention the room number out loud because you never know who's listening. It's for your safety. But that's it right there. And she just pointed at it. And I was like, okay, lady.
2021, Paul, our former caretaker of the concert hall, gave me a birthday present. It was a little 20-cent Euro piece, French issue. Left it on the front seat of my car 2 days after my birthday. I asked my husband, I asked my coworkers, I asked whoever, and then in a Ouija board session 3 weeks later, Paul claims it, and I carry it with me as a good luck token.
I'm a very naturally skeptical person, so when I hear stories like this, my brain immediately jumps to like, let's think of all the reasons why this might not be true. So rest assured, that's all I've been doing since I got back from the hotel. But like, you know, I have a hard time calling people liars and saying that their like first-hand personal accounts aren't true. What I do know though is that while we were getting this tour, there were at least 1 or 2 other tour guides that were following us and trying to prank us the entire time by tapping on the windows of the rooms we were in with sticks.
Because I remember one day it was like completely drained.
Who's there?
I guess that's just kind of like a fun little thing they do there. A fun little hazing designed to, I don't know, make me poop, shit my pants. There's nothing wrong with a little bit of hazing, except for when there is. So I am kind of curious how many of the paranormal experiences the staff have had at this place that were just pranks that they never found out were pranks.
I don't want you guys to watch this guy's whole video on my channel. I want you guys to go to Danny Gonzalez YouTube channel, subscribe, give him a like, and watch the rest of the video there if you're interested to find out how it ends. Doom, doom, doom. Is ghost hunting fake or real? But I'm pretty sure you know where he's going. I mean, we've been making fun of this the whole time. I doubt that he's gonna be, it's real. But he's an awesome guy, funny, love his video, good editing. Yeah, man, you guys go check out Danny Gonzalez if you haven't seen his videos already. But thank you guys for watching. Make sure you subscribe and like, and I'm out.